Hi, I'm Steve. I'm out here, I'm a volunteer, trying to uncover a headstone that somebody was looking for. I found one. It may or may not be their family, but it's too big and too thick for me to get out of here by myself. I think once I uncover it, that'll be it for my morning activity. Yeah, it's a good 10 inches down, about at least 5 or 6 inches thick.
What's your name?
I'm Bud.
Bud, nice to meet you.
Okay.
Bud, what's your last name, and do you want to be in the video?
No.
Oh, please, you got great stories. Can I use your voice at least? McCaffrey.
That put me in.
Do you mind if I put you in?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Awesome.
The Friends of Mount Moriah?
Paula.
Paulette Ronan, she's buried right down there.
Paulette.
Paulette Ronan.
She died 2 years ago, was it?
Well, yeah, something like that. She's buried on her husband, and her husband are buried over there. And she was wonderful. My God, that woman is...
She was from the King Sussing area here?
I don't think so. I think she's from Germantown.
Oh, really? Oh, I think
Yeah.
she was in this area.
No, I think where she's from. And it's a funny story as to how I got involved, because the Inquirer had an article on the headstone. A guy that was buried here was a Medal of Honor, got awarded the Medal of Honor. Are you familiar with what the Medal of Honor is? Do you know what the Medal of Honor is?
No, it's awarded for, some sort of bravery in the field.
Over and beyond the call of duty. That's the line. Over and above the line of duty, of the call of duty. There are 357 of them buried in Arlington National Cemetery. There are 29 here, and only 2 places have more than we do, and that would be Arlington, 359 or something like that, and the other one is in Brooklyn someplace, like 30 or whatever. Anyway, I came down here because the article in the Inquirer was this huge, ugly stone that they had abused over the years, was covered with vines and weeds, and it, as you know, that place has been abandoned for a long time. So anyway, I came down because I was all bent out of shape about the headstone of the guy who got awarded the Medal of Honor, looking the way it did. I came down, I drove down there, and there was Paulette Ronan. And I said, who's responsible for this? And she said, that would be me. And I gotta tell you, she said, you got a mower? And she wasn't kidding, she was serious. And yeah, I got a mower, I got a riding mower at home. And she said, it's open every day. That started it. And
What
we got
year
about...
was that?
Huh?
What year was that?
Well, it's 10 years ago.
Okay.
What day? I don't
No,
know.
okay,
10 years ago.
2010?
Huh?
2010?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because it sounded, what we read was abandoned 2011. But anyway.
No, we closed it in 2011.
Oh.
You weren't allowed to be buried here, don't care what kind of documentation you had. You couldn't be buried here. And it's been abandoned for a long, long time. How far you working?
2004. I looked at the...
That's when they burned that down.
They burned that down?
Yeah. Case of...
Huh?
It was vandalism. He owned it, got the insurance on it.
Oh, the owner burned it down.
The owner burned it down. Burned it down. He got the insurance money.
I hope they were taken to jail.
And then died a couple of months later, or a couple of years later. And that was in 2004 that he burned it down.
Okay.
And then took the money and died. And according to Paulette, who knew everything about this place, there was over $1 million. You know that cemeteries have a trust fund
No.
to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was over $1 million in the trust fund at some point in the 70s. Now, with interest, you know what that be worth today? So anyway, their money's gone. There's no money. There was no money. Nobody worked for the cemetery. He died, and people don't believe this, but you can walk away from the cemetery and say, "Oh,
That
not
must
my
be the
problem."
name that's in here, but it didn't mention that.
What?
All this all it said on Wikipedia was
That's in the National Archives.
Horatio Jones, the last known member of the Mount Moriah Association, died in 2004, and the cemetery closed its gates in 2011. Was that the guy, Horatio
That was
Jones?
it. That was him.
That was the criminal. It doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't tell us that.
Oh, it's a lot of stuff. It's a very interesting place.
Yeah.
As I said, did you see the Union and Confederate soldier graves down there?
Yeah.
There's another one. Did you ever hear of the Philadelphia Navy Hospital?
Yeah.
She told us about it, yeah.
Okay. If you died there, you got buried there. And Betsy Ross was buried back there. Did you see that?
We didn't see it. I heard she was taken down to her house. She was,
Yeah, they reburied her. That's a funny story.
yeah, I read it. I think we found it on the. I found that one. It was,
It's a joke. 1976, they moved her.
oh, for the bicentennial.
Right, you got it. So they moved her in the bicentennial down to the house. Well, if you've been buried in a wooden coffin for almost 200 years, what do you think's left?
You're not going to be buried in a
Nothing. Nothing. So they went down and oh yeah, that looks like Betsy. And they grabbed the bones and they took her down. They took it down to the Betsy Ross house, and that was it. So there was a great big flagpole back there, it's still there. And it has the original design flag that she sewed. Did you guys see this headstone that's right there?
No.
The guy that was World War II, and his grandson and all that stuff. Right in this area, there's about 5 or 6 KIAs killed in action.
Oh.
You could get your body back. You were killed on Iwo Jima. So you could get your body back if they had it identified. That was enough to bring back. And they would pay for it. They'd bring it back. But there's a bunch of KIAs right in this area. I'll tell you what. You could spend, if you had somebody that really knew the history,
Oh yeah.
like Ken. You know Ken Smith? Met him yet?
Oh,
He's the boss. He
You
replaced.
guys are all volunteers, right?
Oh, we're all volunteers.
Yeah. I may have talked. I talked to someone because I have a Civil War relative here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they helped me find his grave. He's way over in that section. He and his wife.
We have a group of people here who spend all of their time finding your mother and father,
Yeah, it's
your
amazing.
grandfather, all that stuff, and genealogists.
Yeah, and they just cleared his section. It was like 206, I think. Recently, it's way over by. What's the street down that way?
I spend about 30 hours a week here. Ken probably has 40, 45 of them. He is the hardest working guy. He is the most knowledgeable. I didn't mean that, Ken. He gets here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Mows until 9 and goes to his job. Every day.
Well,
And he knows he's intelligent, hardworking, and owes me about $20.
We'll make sure to put that in.
Put that in there.
well, I have to attend to that stone at some point. He told me the stuff to buy. It's
that?
down on the ground. There's a.
Oh, to clean it up?
It's limestone. So
Yeah.
It's getting.
Yeah, we
Eaten
can.
away.
D2, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
I think that's it. So I have to buy that.
I love the place. It's great. Great exercise, I tell you that. Weed whack. Want to think of weed whacking 200,000 headstones? Or mowing 280 acres?
It's 280.
280 acres.
Okay, because we thought 200, 280. Wow.
280 acres. Anyway, that's a thumbnail sketch here.